About 3 weeks ago, Abdul Razak Garna, a Tanzanian writer who is now based in the United Kingdom, became the first black writer in 28 years to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. And I listened to The Last Gift by the Nobel laureate because of the commonalities that it had with his life. Garna and one of the main characters in the book, Abbas, are both from the same country, Zanzibar. Plus, what I learned when I listened to this audiobook on Storytel was so much more than what I had expected. Stay tuned to find out what I learned. Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today to talk to you about a book that I listened to very recently. The book is called The Last Gift and it's written by Abdul Razak Garna and narrated by Lyndon Gregory. Abdul Razak Garna, as we all know, won the 2021 Nobel Prize for Literature, and he has written 10 novels and multiple short stories to date, and he has been a lighthouse in the terms of writing about immigrant experiences and human experiences in general. And when I found this book on the Storytel app, I immediately started listening to it. For those of you who don't know, Storytel is an audiobook app where you can listen to over 2 lakh audiobooks in a variety of genres and in multiple languages. And throughout the month, if you have a subscription, throughout the month you can listen to any number of audiobooks and get so much reading done, and that I feel like it's an offer that you can't pass up. Plus, stay tuned till the end of the video where I have a very special, exclusive, exciting offer for you all. Keep watching. The Storytel app also has a feature where you can set listening goals for different durations. I had previously set a goal of completing 15 stories in 30 days, and by completing The Last Gift, I ended up finishing 4 stories with 13 days remaining. But the good news is that if you are feeling overwhelmed, you can edit and update your listening goal too. For example, if you are an ambitious TBR setter like me, this is going to come in very handy. It's going to be very useful in making you feel relieved, like it's making me feel relieved now. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to edit and update my listening goal. I will let the number of stories remain at 15, but I will update the number of days that I will take to complete those stories to 90 days. And hopefully I will be able to keep up with this one. Update. And now it's got a refresh, right? I have 73 days remaining and 11 stories remaining, and I'm sure that I will be able to do this. If I do it way before then, it'll be even better. But even though I have just updated my goal, I can't tell you how helpful this feature has been to me because it has helped me finish 4 full-fledged audiobooks in 17 days, and that's something that I haven't done before. And thanks to this, I have been listening to audiobooks all over the place and inching closer to completing my listening goal, so that's something. Okay, enough gushing, even though it deserves all the gushing, but now on to the main purpose of the video. The Last Gift starts off with Abbas collapsing at the door to his house in a small English town. It is a parallel to about 43 years earlier when he had run away from his home, leaving everything behind and never to look back and never to get back in touch with everything that he left behind. Mariam, Abbas's wife, has led the life of a foundling, having been shuffled from foster family to foster family, and then when she met Abbas, they ran away to start a life together. This couple understands the trauma that lies hidden in each other's past, and they begin a quiet life together, and on the way they have 2 children, Hannah and Jamal. But when Abbas's stroke leads him to 2 other strokes that leave him unable to talk about his past, he regrets not having spoken about it before, and now everything that he needs to put out into the world for his own sake, if not for anything else, starts to weigh heavily on his shoulders. Mariam, on the other hand, is just finding her feet in the world and finding out more about herself as she goes through this with Abbas. She is worried about Abbas, but she is also now determined to give more of herself to people and to the community in general. She wants to do something that is just for her. Hannah, who is Abbas and Mariam's daughter, is now a stubborn, short-tempered woman who is trying to make her own identity and now identifies herself as just British, and she calls herself Anna. She is just about to move in with her boyfriend Nick, and she knows that things are about to get serious, but there's something brewing and she can't quite put a finger on what it is. She can't tell what's about to go wrong or right, or which way it's supposed to go, and what path her life is about to be set on. Jamal, on the other hand, is the empathetic one. He is the one who listens, he is the one who understands, and his life and his connection with the people around him and around the student house that he is now living in is about to come tumbling out in like a wave of colors, and his relationship with his family and everything is about to be put out in stark contrast with what he knows as well as with what he imagines the world to be. As Hannah and Jamal come home from their own lives out in the world and discover the crux of their family, their sense of identity seems to be threatened, and it seems to be deluged by the number of secrets, deep dark secrets, that their parents are about to unleash on them. Will this be the last gift that their parents are about to hand them, or will this clarity about their identity and will this truth about their family finally set them free? What does this mean for their family as a whole? This forms the entire story. There's a reason why Abdul Razak Garna is now a Nobel laureate. As an immigrant himself, he understands the pulse of immigrant lives and the microaggressions and the underhanded slights that are handed to them as they try to assimilate and integrate by the people who think of themselves as pure citizens of the country in question. I loved how unapologetic he was about putting it out there in the spotlight. It doesn't matter how uncomfortable it makes people because it is the harsh truth. And Garna has done an amazing, fabulous job in how he has sketched the lives of these people. It also talks about the numerous ways in which people can be absolutely racist and be completely ignorant about it. The way white people are so disregarding of people of color's origins by asking them, where are you from? It sort of made me really tetchy. Like it made me annoyed a little. It was like a proper whack to the head, because where are you from seems like such an innocuous question, but when you do that to an immigrant, it seems like they are unwelcome there. And that was filled over here, and something like a social commentary of sorts. The narrator, Lyndon Gregory, has done a great job in bringing the story to life. The appropriate nuances of storytelling in this particular story have been captured so well that I felt like I was in the story, like I was a part of the story. I was in wherever Abbas and Mariam and Hannah and Jamal were. The sighs, the pauses, the hesitation, the anger, the joy, the sorrow, everything in there made the experience of listening to this absolutely hard-hitting book an even more real one, and it sort of broke my heart a little at how real it felt to me, because this particular story might be fiction, but there are many stories out there, many people out there who have gone through these exact same things. It takes a story from different perspectives and sugarcoats none of it. Everything is laid bare, however bitter the truth might be. See, the truth is that there are people who behave wildly and then pass themselves off as some sort of a righteous martyr of sorts, and then there are people who are so full of bluster, directing their explosiveness in a direction which would be better off, with being at the receiving end of their compassion, love and understanding. And these are the sort of characters that you want to knock on the head, but you know that they aren't supposed to be likable in any way or anything of that sort, and you want this whole transformation to happen. And when you're rooting for a character, that's when you know that the story, the writing has done its job. And when an audiobook and when a narrator manages to make you feel all those things, then that makes it even better, and I feel like Lyndon Gregory has done a great job on this. Plus, like I mentioned, the characters aren't meant to be likable. they are raw and open and as human comes. There's more to their equation than just that. What with the parents going through internal struggles and battles of their own, and the kids, especially Hannah, grew up surrounded by this whole Britishness, and because of that influence she sort of started to dissociate herself from her actual identity and began to turn into something that she was not. And that's what this book tries to show, that being a family isn't easy, and especially being a family in a situation like this, going through all of that, this is even more difficult. And that's what this book is trying to tell us. It's so stark and so brutal that it sort of makes you take a step back in shock at how much is there going on in here. And as you move from the smaller scale of familial equations to the larger topics of immigration, foster care in the UK, racism, colonialism, and community, you find so many underlying but blatant instances of truth that it will leave you reeling. And I feel like the credit for this needs to go to Lyndon Gregory as a narrator, because he has successfully managed to evoke all the emotions that the author originally intended to, and that is praiseworthy. Unfortunately, there were a couple of things that I did not like about the book. The audiobook was good. It's the writing that I have an issue with, because the first one is that there's a lot of to and fro that happens between the past and the present, and between different characters' perspectives, and the constant back and forth was giving me whiplash. It was making me very confused. I had to pause and go back and re-listen to what I had just listened because of this. There's no clear demarcation between the different settings and different instances, which makes the story a little hard to follow. Second, too many repeated details. So many times during this audiobook have I paused, because I had this strong sense of deja vu that I had listened to this very same thing, very exact thing earlier in the book also. Be it Abbas's lamentations of, I don't want to think about why I ran away, or of Hannah's shouting at her mother about her vile immigrant tragedies, which is a sort of stuck-up thing to think of and to say as a grown-up 28-year-old woman, but it sort of gets repetitive as it drones on. While the narrator's inflections made the story a little easier to listen to, I still felt like the writing itself was a little bit long-winded. Quite a bit of the story could have been trimmed, and it could have been turned into something very crisper and something more impactful. And the last point is that there is no clear character transformation or character arc in these characters, except maybe for Mariam. The other characters, they sort of rather plateau very dully, and it sort of becomes a chore, hoping to find any redeeming qualities in these characters. Because I swear to God, I could, whack one or two of these characters over the head and then go and sleep soundly without any guilt. Despite these cons that I just mentioned, I feel like The Last Gift, written by Abdul Razak Garna and narrated by Lyndon Gregory, is an important one, and it's a must-listen audiobook, especially about the immigrant experience. And in addition to that, it also talks about the human experience of living with a family and sharing life and love with people who share your blood. And on the whole, a pretty hard-hitting book, and I would recommend you to listen to the audiobook for an even better experience. On that note, remember I had mentioned at the beginning of the video that I have an exclusive, exciting offer for you. Storytel is now offering an exclusive discount for the Melodramatic Bookworm family. With this offer, you, my subscribers, will get a 90-day Storytel subscription at just rupees 375. The original price for this 90-day subscription is 799 rupees. But if you use this offer, the link to which is in the description box below, you will get a 90-day subscription at an exclusive hefty discount. So I think you should go check it out. You should go get it, because this is an amazing offer that you can't pass up. So what are you waiting for? Go and grab it right now, and also check out my audiobook reviews and recommendations, including The Last Gift by Abdul Razak Garna and translated by Lyndon Gregory. Very important point. So, what did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Have you read anything by Abdul Razak Garna before? And do you have a Storytel subscription? If yes, if you do have a Storytel subscription, go and listen to The Last Gift by Abdul Razak Garna and narrated by Lyndon Gregory right away because it's amazing. And if you don't have a subscription, then please use the link in the description box below to get an exclusive hefty discount on a 90-day subscription. Also, do let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.